Welcome to the Higher Self Habits podcast, where astrology meets behavioral psychology. Join me, your host, Angela Xavier, and together let's dive into all things astrology, how to align your mindset with your birth chart, and so much more. My intention with this podcast is to inspire you with strategies, tools, and teachings that you need to consistently get after your goals with flow and ease. Your higher self is already doing so. And after all, you are what you repeatedly do. I am so happy to have you here with me, so thank you so much for being here. Now let's begin. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Higher Self Habits podcast. I hope you are having a lovely and productive day wherever you are. Today's episode is going to be quite short. And to be honest, it came from this sheer channeling, spurt of an amazing perspective. Wow, that was quite the introduction of this idea that just came out of nowhere to me this morning. And I'm just feeling called to stay in this stream of consciousness and just get it out to you, because looking at it this way has shifted a lot for me just even in this morning. And I just want to get this energy to you as well too. If this resonates, I hope it really does and just brings you even farther down the path to what you want to achieve. Okay, all in all, I want to ask you, how are you? How often do you check in with yourself and just ask yourself, how are you? Right? And what I find fascinating, again, language being so crucial to our perspective of the world, to wiring our mind to see a reality we desire, right? Language is super powerful. And what I'm getting at with this is when you ask yourself, how are you? The conditioning with that language is, how are you feeling, right? How are you? We are so wired to just ask people that, even strangers, how you doing? Now, this morning, I asked myself this question, but it came from a very different place. And it has been super empowering and really put a fire under my ass to get some work done. So that is where I'm taking it today. My intention with this podcast is to leave you with this new surge of motivated energy, right? Motivation is something you do, not something you have, or something that magically falls from the sky. So yeah, let's get into it. The biggest thing with this perspective I'm about to share is that clarity comes from action, okay? And this is why it is so crucial to just do it, just get started, just get into the energy of working towards something. And as you continue to do it, be in the mode of actually doing something, the clarity will come, right? Done is better than perfect. That's why there's no such thing as failure. Failure is only when you actually give up. So with that thought in mind, okay, what was happening in my world at this moment? I was counting cash. And I was thinking to myself, how can I create more of this in my life, right? A specific number I want to manifest, a specific energy I want to feel, the lifestyle I envision for myself, right? Holding the cash in my hand and envisioning and desiring more of it, right? I had this surge of, for sure, wired programming to be in a positive mind state, to say, I can do this. And that's what I said aloud to myself. I can do this. I can make more of it. I can create the reality I envision for myself of more money, right? I can. And as I said, I can do this, I looked up at a Post-it note I have above my desk with an affirmation I absolutely love. And if it resonates with you, please take this, okay? So I said to myself, I can do this. Then I looked up and I read my affirmation, which is, I will because I am, right? I will achieve this because I already am in motion of it. I already am working toward it. If I am focusing on me, if I am, right, thinking, feeling, doing in accordance to my higher self, doing in accordance to the version of myself with what it is I desire, I will have it. It's a universal law. So, counting money, I can do this. I can do this. I will do this because I am. Now, this is where it really shifted for me. And this is what I want to share with you here now on this podcast. Just welcome to my mind. Okay. Step into my mind. I love to analyze things. And in saying this, I'm trying to actualize it to bring it down from the ethers into practical action. So, I will because I am, right? Well, are you? I asked myself that. I am. Are you? How are you? Okay? When you ask yourself, how are you? Condition yourself to ask yourself, how am I? You know what I mean? It's not just the condition like, how you feeling today? Well, I'm good. Go deep. Like, there is so much power in asking yourself questions and always being conscious and curious to find a new answer. So what I mean by that is, how are you? How are you thinking as your higher self today? How are you feeling in accordance to what you're focusing on, what you're thinking about? How are you with integrity working towards what you desire? How are you doing these things? Right? Isn't there so much more power in that? And again, how are you doing this? The more you actually ask yourself this, that is a habit in itself. The more you actually focus and have the thoughts of your higher self, feel in accordance to what state those thoughts create, right? Keep that state in your day. Focus on being calm, regulating your emotions, being in control of how you respond to things versus react, right? How are you doing this? How can you keep doing this? How are you doing this? I just feel so lit up. I feel so empowered by seeing this phrase this way. Now, with what I'm about to share, my intention is to really drill in this sense of empowerment, okay? When you are crystal clear on what you're focusing on, that being the thoughts you want to have, the consciousness you carry throughout your day to choose in accordance to what your higher self would choose, to build the relationship with knowing that deep choice, right? To have the stamina, the understanding of yourself, the intuitive awareness of how you can be in control of your state. Because again, remember, that's your frequency. Who you are being is the prime focus here. Because who you are being determines what you do and inevitably achieves the result of what you want. So what are you thinking and feeling, and being crystal clear on that? How are you doing that today? I'm going to start asking myself this daily. How am I going to think today? How am I going to feel today? Now, when it comes to how are you, right? There's a common teaching with manifestation to release the how. Release the knowing that your ego is crying out for, right? The certainty around how it's all going to work out, the way you'll meet the love of your life, the perfect offering and the way you're going to pitch it and make your empire, right? The things that is in the hands of the universe, let's say. And the practice is to surrender to that, to just stay steady in your focus and release needing to know the how. Now, I understand that concept, but I don't believe that. My opinion, my belief, my perspective is to empower yourself with how. You are the how. You are how it happens. What you're releasing control of is the what. What's going to come about from you focusing on how you are doing, how you are thinking, how you are feeling. If this resonates, begin the practice with me. How are you? Ask yourself right now, how are you thinking as your higher self today? How are you feeling as your higher self today? How are you showing up as her? How are you? As a question, as a genuine inquisition of checking in with your vision. How are you doing that today? How are you? If you enjoyed this episode, this off the cuff, I'm sure you can sense the vibe. It was not scripted. I just genuinely feel empowered and wanted to get this perspective out to you in the most genuine way. If you resonated with this episode, if you like this sort of style, please leave a review and let me know. That way I know I can keep what you're enjoying coming your way. And with that, I will see you in the next episode. Hope you have a lovely day. Bye.